Imagine going to sleep tonight, and while you are resting, a digital version of you is just busy at work.
Right.
It's, negotiating a software contract with a vendor, rerouting a delayed supply chain because of some real-time weather data, and, drafting a comprehensive update memo to your boss
Yeah, doing all...
without you lifting a single finger.
It sounds totally ridiculous.
Sounds like science fiction, right?
Yeah.
But according to the research we are looking at today, it is rapidly becoming the actual, literal, new reality of the workplace. So welcome to today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We are taking a look at a massive, and I mean impending, shift in business operations today. And our mission is really to extract the signal from the noise so you can walk into your office tomorrow just, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And you are totally right. The scenario you just described, it isn't some distant, 10-year prediction anymore.
Right.
We are looking at a fundamental rewiring of the enterprise that is happening right now, today.
Yeah, and the foundation for our discussion today comes from a deeply fascinating piece published by MIT Technology Review. The article is titled, Learning to Lead in a Hybrid Human-AI Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to drop a statistic right at the top of our conversation to really anchor why we are talking about this today. Because, we all see tech trends come and go.
Oh, constantly.
Usually like a 10% adoption rate over a couple of years is considered, a solid success for a new enterprise tool.
Right, a huge win.
But according to the source material, the adoption of AI agents is expected to skyrocket by an astounding 300%.
Yeah.
And that is not over the next decade. That 300% surge is projected over the next 2 years alone.
It is a truly staggering number. When you see an adoption curve that aggressive, it tells you that the market has recognized an undeniable immediate value.
Yeah.
If companies are willing to completely rip up their operational foundations to integrate this technology in just 24 months, well, it tells me this isn't just a simple software patch.
No, not at all.
It is a mad dash to overhaul how work actually gets done.
Exactly. And that is why we need to figure out what a 300% surge actually looks like on the ground, for businesses, for managers, and for your everyday workflow.
Right.
Because a number that big is really hard to contextualize.
Okay, let's unpack this. Should we be thinking about this massive adoption like a major software upgrade, moving from a typewriter to a word processor?
Right.
Or is this more like moving from doing a solo project to suddenly having a highly efficient, always-on-call digital teammate sitting right next to you?
I would strongly argue for the teammate analogy.
Really?
Yeah, because the typewriter to word processor comparison, it implies a tool that simply makes your manual work a bit easier.
Oh, I see.
Like a word processor still just sits there on your screen, blinking, waiting for you to type.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything until you do something.
Right, the blinking cursor of doom. Exactly. But what the Technology Review article is highlighting is that we have to stop thinking of these AI agents as just another suite of office tools. The source explicitly describes them as taking on roles that go far beyond standard automation. They are capable of coordinating complex tasks autonomously and interacting seamlessly across entirely different software environments.
Okay, let's make that concrete for the listener.
Yeah.
Because when we say coordinating complex tasks, it can sound a bit like, corporate jargon.
Fair enough.
If you were listening right now, imagine your own daily workflow. Think about the friction points.
Oh, the bouncing around?
Yes, the bouncing between your email, your calendar, maybe a CRM platform, an inventory database, and Slack.
Yeah.
Historically, you are the glue holding all those disparate systems together.
Right, you are the human bridge.
The human bridge, I like that.
Yeah, like if a client emails you to change an order, you have to read the email, open the inventory system to check stock.
Wait for it to load?
Exactly. Wait for it to load, then open the billing system to update the invoice, and then go message the shipping department. You're doing all that manual moving of information.
But with a digital teammate, you are no longer the bridge.
No.
The agent can read the email, recognize the intent behind it, securely log into the inventory system entirely on its own, update the billing, and notify shipping. It operates alongside you, handling all the logistical friction.
And that removal of friction is exactly what is driving that 300% surge.
Wow.
Yeah, when you introduce a capability that removes the bottleneck of human task switching, the ceiling for what a single worker can accomplish is raised exponentially.
But to really understand why this is causing such a massive disruption, I think we have to look under the hood at the mechanism.
Definitely.
We need to understand how these new AI agents fundamentally differ from the technology we are already used to. Because honestly, we've had automation for a long time.
Oh, decades.
Right. I have email filters. I have macro scripts in Excel. I have automated scheduling assistants. Why is this 300% surge happening now and not, say, 5 years ago?
Well, what's fascinating here is the stark contrast this source draws between what we have historically called automation and what these new agents actually represent.
Sure.
Traditional automation requires manual input. A human being has to push a button or set a rigid rule or define a very specific trigger.
Like if X happens, then do Y.
Exactly. If X, then Y. The human does the thinking, the software just does the execution. But the article points out that these new AI entities actually make independent decisions.
Wait, hold on. I have to challenge this independent decision-making idea.
Go for it.
I think this is where a lot of people, including me, get tripped up. When you say it makes its own decisions, my brain immediately goes straight to sci-fi.
Right, like Terminator.
Exactly. But under the hood, isn't this still just code? At the end of the day, isn't an AI just a vastly more complicated if-then statement? I mean, a programmer somewhere had to tell it what to do, right? How is it actually deciding anything?
That is the perfect question to ask because the mechanism is where the real magic happens.
Okay.
With traditional software, yes, a developer writes explicit rules for every single possible scenario. But these new agents use large language models, LLMs, as reasoning engines.
Okay, reasoning engines.
Yeah. We are moving from rule-based programming to goal-oriented programming. You don't give the agent a step-by-step map anymore. You give it a destination and access to some tools.
So I give it the goal, but not the actual instructions on how to get there.
Exactly. Just the goal. Let's say the agent's goal is to pull a specific financial report every Friday.
Sure.
In the past, if the website hosting that report suddenly changed its layout, your automated macro would simply break.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time.
Right. It would crash, and it would just sit there and wait for you to fix it.
Yeah.
An autonomous AI agent, however, can literally look at the screen, realize the download button has moved, use its reasoning engine to scan the new page layout, find the new button, and click it.
Wait, really? It just finds it?
Yes. Or if the data is missing entirely, it might write a custom Python script on the fly to scrape the data from an alternative source, test its own code, see if it works, and then email you the result.
That is wild.
It is constantly evaluating a feedback loop.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if traditional software is like a bowling alley with the bumpers up,
Yeah.
You can only bounce where you let it down a single rigid lane.
Yeah.
And if the lane is blocked, the ball just stops.
Right.
But these AI agents are like giving the bowling ball a GPS and a set of eyes. If its lane is blocked, it doesn't just crash and wait for a human. It evaluates the terrain, rolls over to the next lane, and figures out how to hit the pins anyway.
That is a brilliant way to visualize it, letting the software off the leash, so to speak.
Wow.
It is digital autonomy. And the source explicitly states that this shift, from requiring manual human input to independent, self-correcting workflows, it provides a level of efficiency that businesses have literally never seen before.
I believe it.
When your software can pivot on the fly like that, you aren't bottlenecked by human reaction times or the need to write new rules for every single edge case. The agent absorbs the complexity.
So what does this all mean?
Yeah.
If the technology is now autonomous, if it is out there making independent decisions, writing its own scripts, and navigating the off-road terrain of a business workflow all on its own, that immediately creates a massive ripple effect for human management.
Absolutely massive.
We have to pivot here from talking about the tech itself to the people who are responsible for managing the tech. How does a leader manage a workforce that is suddenly both digital and human?
It completely upends the traditional management playbook. Completely.
Because if you are a manager listening to this, you are probably doing some frantic mental math right now.
Oh, for sure.
Managing humans is incredibly hard. You deal with motivations, conflict resolution, career growth.
Right.
But now you have to integrate these independent decision-making AI entities into your existing department.
Yeah.
How do you do a performance review for an AI?
Yeah.
How do you know if it is making the right independent decisions rather than just incredibly fast wrong ones?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that is the true leadership challenge outlined in the text.
Okay.
The source makes a major point of saying this rapid adoption is prompting leadership teams to completely rethink what management even is.
Really? Like rethinking the whole concept?
Yes, it is no longer an IT issue where you just plug a new software tool into the workflow and let it run. It requires leaders to take a completely fresh approach because they are now at the helm of a hybrid human-AI workforce.
And what does that fresh approach actually look like in practice? Because if you treat this off-road autonomous vehicle like a train on fixed tracks, you are missing the entire value proposition of the technology.
Precisely. It means shifting your management style from tracking tasks to managing an ecosystem.
Managing an ecosystem.
Yeah. With a human employee, you might sit down for a weekly one-on-one to discuss how they approached a problem, where they got stuck, how they prioritized their time.
Standard stuff.
Right. With an AI agent, you don't do a one-on-one. You audit its logic logs. You act more like an orchestrator. You are defining the ethical guardrails, setting the high-level strategy, and ensuring the AI's independent decisions align with the company's broader goals.
All makes sense.
You aren't just assigning tasks to Bob and Sarah anymore. You are figuring out how Bob, Sarah, and the department's AI agent collaborate to solve a problem together.
That requires a completely different mental model.
It really did.
You have to build trust with an entity that, doesn't have a pulse, but is nonetheless coordinating deeply complex tasks across your entire department. It feels like a management crisis waiting to happen if a company just buys the software, but doesn't train its leaders on how to actually oversee digital autonomy.
And the text strongly implies that this transition will not be entirely smooth for everyone.
I can imagine.
But the orchestration of this hybrid ecosystem is where the real value is unlocked.
Right.
The challenge isn't just surviving the integration of these agents. The leaders who figure out how to evaluate AI logic, establish trust in these systems, and seamlessly blend them with their human talent, they will be the ones who redefine their industries.
Which brings us to the ultimate payoff. We've talked about the disruption and the management hurdles, but we need to explore the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, big part.
What is the ultimate goal for the businesses that actually get this right? Here's where it gets really interesting. The source asserts that as we navigate this brave new world, the conversation isn't really about the technology at all anymore.
No.
It is fundamentally about embracing an evolutionary change in how we define work itself.
That is a critical distinction. The AI is just the catalyst.
It's the catalyst, yeah.
The ultimate goal, as the article breaks it down, is finding ways to harmonize human creativity and machine efficiency. Harmonize.
Right. The businesses that succeed in this transition won't necessarily be the ones with the most expensive AI agents. They will be the ones who successfully harmonize those two distinct elements. By doing so, they set the benchmark for the future of work.
I love the word harmonize there. It makes me think of this dynamic as like a duet rather than a duel.
Ooh, a duet. I like that.
Because for so long, the broader cultural conversation around AI has felt incredibly adversarial. It's a duel of humans versus machines, a zero-sum game of who's going to replace whom.
Exactly.
But this framework suggests something entirely different.
It is a collaborative synergy. The machine brings unprecedented efficiency. It handles the complex coordination, the data scraping, the cross-platform scheduling, and the independent routing decisions.
Right. The machine handles all the logistics. And because the machine is doing all that heavy lifting, it fundamentally shifts the human's role. If the AI is managing your tasks, your calendar, and your data, your only job left is empathy, strategy, and relationship building.
The things code fundamentally cannot do. It frees up the human to lean entirely into high-level creativity.
Exactly. Let's look at a concrete example.
Sure.
Imagine a marketing director. In the old model, that director spends half their week analyzing spreadsheets, adjusting budgets across 50 different ad campaigns, and pulling performance reports.
So tedious.
So tedious. But in the hybrid human-AI enterprise, the autonomous agent handles all the A/B testing and budget reallocation in real time. It evaluates the data and makes independent decisions to optimize the spend.
Leaving the marketing director to do what?
Leaving the marketing director to focus entirely on the emotional resonance of the brand's messaging, crafting long-term strategy, and building partnerships with new clients.
Wow.
When you remove the burden of manual input from the human worker, you allow them to operate at their highest possible cognitive level. The synergy between those inherently human capabilities and the AI's execution speed is what the source says drives unprecedented growth and innovation.
Unprecedented growth and innovation. That is the payoff. It's not just about saving time or cutting costs. It's about unlocking a level of performance that simply wasn't possible when human beings were bogged down acting like, well, human bridges between different software platforms.
Right, exactly.
So let's take a moment to recap the journey we've just been on, because we covered some incredibly dense ground today.
We really did.
We started by looking at this massive 300% boom in the adoption of AI agents expected over the next 2 years, a true mad dash by enterprises to overhaul their operations. We discovered that the core differentiator of these agents, what separates them from standard rule-based automation, is their use of reasoning engines to make independent decisions and correct their own workflows when they hit an obstacle.
Right, going off-road.
Exactly. We explored the massive new challenge this creates for leaders who must move from managing tasks to auditing logic and orchestrating a truly hybrid human-AI workforce. And finally, we ended on the ultimate goal, moving past the human versus machine duel to harmonize human creativity with machine efficiency.
This raises an important question for everyone listening, because knowledge is only truly valuable when you apply it to your own life.
True.
So I would encourage you to look at your own workplace tomorrow, look at the tools you use every single day, and the friction points in your own workflow. Ask yourself where the line between human creativity and machine efficiency currently sits in your department.
Yeah.
Are you still providing manual input for tasks that an autonomous agent could handle? And more importantly, how prepared are you or your leadership team to embrace that shift and actually manage a digital teammate?
That is the perfect question to be asking right now.
Yeah.
And as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with one final lingering concept to mull over on your own, something that builds on everything we've just discussed. We've talked a lot today about human-to-AI collaboration. But if these new AI agents are truly capable of autonomously coordinating complex tasks and making independent decisions within our environment, what happens when your company's AI agent starts autonomously negotiating or collaborating with another company's AI agent, entirely behind the scenes?
Oh, wow. That is a wild thought.
Right. If your digital teammate reaches out to a vendor's digital teammate, and they start teaming up with each other to solve supply chain problems or negotiate pricing in a matter of milliseconds without either human manager involved until the final approval, how fast will the future of work really move?
Unbelievably fast.
It is a fascinating, slightly dizzying thought to keep with you as you navigate this transition. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the hybrid enterprise. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure to unpack this with you. Stay curious, keep asking the hard questions, and we will catch you next time.